You have to bet on yourself every single day. I don't care if your son needs you, your grandparents need you, a caregiver. There got to be a part of you every day that says, Shanadra, Letitia, you are worthy. And although you love all these people around you, it's your journey. And you're responsible for that.
All right, so it can take years to leave a work situation. You actually may be sitting there right now thinking about leaving your career, making some career changes, but when do you see yourself actually doing it? That's a whole nother story, right? Hey everyone, I am Letitia Barriola. I'm the host of The Reset. I'm also a career coach, and we are talking about transitioning out of your career or evolving your career, as Serena Williams so famously called leaving tennis. She said she's evolving from tennis, right? We're talking about transition. Why does it take so long for us to make a move when we know this ain't it? When we know it in our heart of hearts, we know this ain't it. All right, so to help with the conversation is someone who has been there. Former Global Financial Operations Manager, Shanadra Washington. She left her 13-year career back in 2021 to build her firm, Black Orchids PR. She found that she was consistently forced to shrink down, overlooked, underpaid, finally did something about it. And I believe we need to see more Black women doing this. Not complaining in their job, not dreaming about something else, in the group text talking about they ready, right? We need to see more women taking control of their career, taking more control of their work life. And Shanadra is one of those women. Here's our candid conversation about what it's like to transition and evolve from one career to the next. Hey, Shanadra, welcome to The Reset.
Hey, Letitia, I am so honored to be here with you today.
Yes, we have a living, breathing testimony, example of a woman who left her comfort zone and jumped into the unknown. And listen, there's so many women who are thinking about it, dreaming about it, want to do it. They need to hear from you. So I want to know, 13 years, right, in a career that you're successful, what was the moment you knew your time was up? It was time to go.
Yeah, my story is that the end of my career was not a pretty end. I like to be very transparent about that.
Yeah.
In 2018 is when it started to take a turn, and I left in 2021. So this past 3 years, yes, was overworked, navigating poorly executed change, issues with management, and a strong diversity and inclusion struggle. Okay, so you already have that environment. That's then met with pandemic and murder of George Floyd. I'm now at home, right? So I have time. Things start unlocking.
Yeah.
And now it's Shanadra, it's do or die.
Mm-hmm.
No one's coming to save you. It's been 13 years. No one's coming.
Yeah. And it's so interesting how you said 2018.
Yes, ma'am.
So career change takes some time. Like most people don't decide and go. Like you get the seed planted sometimes years ago, but it takes, and it doesn't have to take this long, but for most of us, we still sit in it for a long time. Why do you think that is?
For me, there was no idea of out. Yeah. There's no idea. This is what you've done for this long. You have been a finisher and a doer, and you figure it out. But in that space, in the space of corporate, right? Because that's what you do. That's what was taught in the household. In my household, you go to school and you get a good job. So that's what's in my head. So that's what I do. However, something is just not right. You know, we're in 2022, and here I am, a Black woman in corporate America, still knowing I have proof and had conversations about being underpaid. It's not okay. So that's when the wheels began to turn. And then now I have a son. This is a game changer. Like, what do you do? Like, what are you going to teach him? Because there is no way that he's going to feel this, that he's not going to know what's in his own hands. So you better figure it out. Because if you can show up here every day and you can do the juggling act and you can do all it, oh baby.
Yeah.
What can you do when you show up for yourself? Are you gonna play the game here and hope that it gets right? I mean, you already, girl, you getting up in the 30s, like what what you gonna do? And those were the hard conversations. Those are some hard conversations to have with yourself.
Yeah.
So what happens? You say, okay, we're gonna play a game. Which one's scarier?
Yes.
In here and dying?
Oh my gosh.
Or getting yourself together and putting one foot in front of the other, like you've done in this place.
Yes. Let me tell you, that question right there, which is scarier? That question was posed to me.
Oh, wow.
And it was a podcast conversation, and it was Elaine Welter-Roth who said, I was asking her, like, what do you tell someone who doesn't know what to do? They're in a job they don't like, they're not comfortable, they're burned out, and they have a dream, da, da, da. She says, you need to look at, so which is worse, staying in this position, and you know the outcome of this, you see where this is going, or like betting on yourself, betting on your faith, believing your intuition and these ideas are real and they're yours, and going out there and trying to execute that. Like, which one is scarier to me? And at the time, it was scarier to rot and burn out and stress and disconnected from my work. I was more afraid of where that road would take me than me paving my own way in entrepreneurship, right? And that to me was like the revelation. So what are you seeing? Now you work one-to-one with Black women all over, right? Who are navigating change and starting businesses, right? So what are some of the themes you're seeing come up with Black women who want to venture out, but maybe in that in-between zone where they're like, I don't know if I can do it?
We're not choosing ourselves.
Ooh.
And I don't care if it's in the workplace. I even work with new business owners who are building brands, because it's not that much difference between building a personal brand and a business brand. It's going to take you, both sides. It's going to take you. We are not actively choosing ourselves. And it's just not like, oh, we're going to go on a girls trip and we're going to get some nails done. I mean, choosing you and fueling yourself every day. Because every territory, this right here has to go with you. So what are you doing to fuel yourself? If you're not doing that, it's going to be a hard journey wherever you decide to stay. Number two is that we don't realize the power in our voice. I have to pull things out of Black women. I said, oh no, girl, you did this, this, and this. Yeah. And that's the only statement that you have to say. It's not okay. Because at the end of the day, you're going to always have stereotypes. And, we're at the bottom of the barrel. If they're going to think that anyway, why not just use the voice? Why not just choose it? And this version of me came from that. I wasn't always this version of me. Like I say, I am a task-driven person. The start of my career meant, Shanadra, you go to your desk, you put your head down, and you clear this work queue. You're pleasant to your team and this and that, but nobody even knows you exist. If they don't sit within a couple of cubicles or rows away from you, they don't know Shanadra even exists. But I'll tell you what did start happening because of that. I was getting the crappiest work, the longest hours, no voice. And I tell people, work ethic is one thing, because I got a work ethic. I'll get it done. But it wasn't until my voice met the work ethic. Work all you want to. And when I got this voice together, they noticed that shift quicker. So 100 hours.
Listen, that leads right into my final question, with like something tangible to give people, women especially, who are uncomfortable, who know they have more to offer. They're ready to go, like they're ready to move. It doesn't have to be entrepreneurship, right? They just know they need to go somewhere where they're valued. What is the one piece of advice you can give them today?
I want you to just ask yourself, what are you doing by not moving? Number one, I want you to tell you what's going to change. I want you to tell me what's going to change, and I can tell you it's going to be nothing. But I want you to say that and put that on paper.
Yeah.
And I want you to feel what it's going to cost you. You got to ask yourself that question.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of stuff not easy. Being broke, being overlooked, being underpaid, not easy.
Yeah.
Which part? Which part? You at some point you just got to say, and like I say, I'm another one that's very stickler with my finances. So me knowing exactly where every penny go, I've been that way for a very long time. And I want to tell you this from a place in my heart. So me leaving this safe financial services job to be like, oh, I got to make a product suite. I gotta build got to be something that's deep, that hurt, to make you go out on a limb like that.
Yeah.
So don't think it's gonna be pretty. It's gonna be some stuff on the inside that you're gonna be like, okay, I gotta stop telling myself this.
Yeah.
There is another way out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And every day, bet on you. You can't bet on yourself Monday and then don't and wait 2 months later.
Right.
You know what kind of this is an endless sea up here. You know what kind of craziness can happen up here in 2 months?
Yeah. I appreciate that advice so much, because if there's anything I learned on this journey of creating my own business, being a founder, being an entrepreneur, is that it all comes back to me. Like, it all comes back to how I'm managing my mind. It comes back to the faith that I have. It comes back to me. It's not even necessarily, yes, it's the product and the value I deliver, but before you even get to the product, before you even get to what you're doing, it all starts with me. And so thank you for reminding us that it starts with first choosing us, using our voice, loving us, and letting that lead us. Thank you for your time. Thank you so much for joining us today.